Yes,
So
sir.
I think we're done with the tangent line and normal line, and then we start discussing curve tracing to. Okay lang yan. Wala pa. Okay, let's talk about curve tracing. Again, derivatives of a given function is also utilized in graphing functions. No? So usually, when in algebra, in analytic geometry, we trace the curve by setting points. No? Or in differential calculus, we use we use the properties, the horizontal asymptote, vertical asymptote, and so on and so forth. So this time, we're going to associate derivatives in tracing curve. Okay, let us consider a function y equals f of x of this form. Right? Then let me say this is point A, this one is point B, point C, point D, point E, and point F. Right? And then you can see that the function y equals f of x, y equals f of x, it increases from A to B, then f of x increases, and then from B to C, uh, f of x is decreasing, and then from C to D, it keeps on decreasing, right? And then when you go to D to E and E to F, so D to F, the function f of x increases. Okay. And then in terms of the tangent line, you know that in every point of the function y equals f of x, you can draw tangent line. So if A is a point of tangency, then you can draw a line tangent to it. And then you can also draw a line tangent to point B, a line tangent to point C, a line tangent to point D, to point E, and then to point F. Okay? So you can see that in when you differentiate, no? When you differentiate y equals f of x, you recall the definition of derivative. So y prime equals f prime of x, and this gives you uh, the slope of a line tangent to the given curve, right? So again, when you see the word slope, then you associate it with the first derivative, right? And then you can see here that point B and point D, in point B and point D, you can draw horizontal tangent. And what is the slope of the horizontal tangent? What is the slope of horizontal line?
Zero po.
Zero po. So it means that the slope on this point is zero. Meaning, at point B and D, the derivative of the function is zero, okay, because the slope is equal to zero. Because there is a horizontal line that you can draw there. So meaning, y prime at B, y prime is zero at B, and y prime is also zero at D, right? Now, with this, you call point B a relative what? Point B, relative maximum, and point D is relative minimum. It is called relative minimum because you do not know how far the graph can go. Meaning, this curve, no, this function y equals f of x can grow down, can go down here, down, 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 and you do not know the lowest point that it can reach. So also, you cannot you cannot determine the highest point that this graph can reach. Is that clear? Can I hear you?
Yes po.
Yes po.
Okay. So meaning again, The point B is a relative maximum and point D is a relative minimum. Okay? So you can easily determine that the function is relative minimum or relative maximum whenever the derivative of y is 0. So y prime is 0 and y prime at this point is also 0. Relative maximum, okay? The behavior of this is maximum. The behavior of the behavior of the curve changes from increasing to decreasing. If it is relative minimum, okay, so this is point D, and the behavior of the curve changes from decreasing to increasing. So this is a good indication to determine whether the function is relative mean or relative max. Okay, this is what you call this one is concave downward, and this one is concave upward. All right. By second derivative test, you can determine whether the function is concave upward or concave downward by getting the point of inflection. Okay. So the point of inflection, ito pala, sorry. So point A, point C, and point E are points of inflection. Okay? Because there is no change in the behavior. As you can notice in point A, so from D to E, it's increasing, and from E to F, that's decreasing. So, I mean, from B to C, it's decreasing, C to D, it's also decreasing. So, walang pagbabago. Unlike sa relative mean, that you can see that the function increases and decreases, relative maximum. The function decreases and increases, then it's relative mean. Okay? So sa point of inflection, the behavior of the function f of x is just the same, whether it is increasing or decreasing. Okay? And that let me summarize all these points. No? And then itong mga, you can still hear me?
Yes po.
Yes, sir.
All right. So ito yung mga tatandaan nyo. One, I have the function f of x is increasing. When do we say that the function f of x is increasing? F of x is increasing at x equals a when f prime at a is positive, and it is decreasing f of x is decreasing x equals a when f prime of a is negative. 3, f of x is maximum at x equals a when f prime at a equals 0. All right, and f prime of x changes sign. That's maximum, okay? From positive to negative as x increases to a. Okay? Then, when we say that the function f of x is at minimum, so ibig sabihin, kung nag-agree siya sa opposite nito, so you have 4. F of x is minimum at x equals a when f prime of a is 0 and when f prime of x changes sign from negative to positive. Yes pa. Ah, Ay, notes niya. Doon po sa pinagpapagawaan ni Ma'am Gail din. Di ano, hindi kaya po din. Doon lang din po ako nagpagawa ng sasakyan ko. Right? And then, this is what you call the first derivative test. So you can see that they are all first derivative. Okay? And then, the second derivative test, you can identify that you can easily identify the whether the function is relative minimum or relative maximum. Okay, x equals a is a relative minimum or kahit minimum na lang is minimum if and only if f double prime at a, okay, f double prime at a minimum is greater than 0. Okay, and 6 x equals a is maximum if and only if f double prime at a is less than 0. And, sir, paano pagka equal siya sa 0? 7, then x equals a is a point of inflection if and only if f double prime of a equals 0. Okay, so yan yung mga tatandaan nyo. You keep on reading first. Okay, so saulihin nyo yung mga keywords dyan and then I'll give you an example. Right? You tell me when you're done. You done? No? You done? You can still hear me?
Yes po, sir.
Yes po, sir. Yes po, sir.
Example. Trace the curve. Y equals x to the 5 minus 5x cubed minus 20x minus 2. Okay? So first step, enumerate natin. Step 1, find the derivative of y. Or kahit y prime na lang, find y prime. Then you have y prime. Can you differentiate this for me? Can you tell me what to write here? Y equals, y prime equals. Can somebody differentiate this? You open your microphone.
Sir. 5x to the power of 4 minus 15x squared minus 20.
All right. Then step 2, you get the critical point. Critical value pala. So how do you get the critical value? Set y prime equal to 0. So 0 equals 5x to the 4 minus 15x squared minus 20. Then we can divide everything by 5. 0. Dividing by 5, 3x to the 4 minus, no, by 5 pala, sorry. 1. 1x to the 4 minus 3x squared minus 4. And then you factor it out to solve for x. Okay, find the critical value, okay, by setting y prime equals 0, then solve for x. Then 0, x squared minus 4, x squared plus 2, plus 1. Okay, you check nga kung tama. Alright, so you have 0 equals x squared minus 4, and 0 equals x squared plus 1. So you have x squared equals 4, and therefore x equals plus or minus 2. Then x squared equals negative 1, so therefore x equals plus or minus square root of negative 1. This is an extraneous solution. So hindi nyo na isasama yun sa computation. Okay? Kasi it indicates imaginary number. Alright? So ito lang i-consider natin. Next step, step number 3. Determine the critical point. And how do you do that? Replace x by 2 and negative 2. Determine the critical point. So kuhanin natin yung original given. Y equals 5 5x cubed or x to the 5 minus 5x cubed minus 20x, then minus 2. Okay? And then when x is 2, solve for y. And when x is negative 2, solve for y. Okay? Can you do this on your sheet? And then you tell me the value of y. Alright? What is the value of y? Just replace it here. 2 to the 5 minus 5 to 2 cube minus 20 times 2 minus 2.
Negative 50 po.
Negative 50. So you have 2 negative 50. When x is negative 2, y is
46 po.
46. So, meaning we have negative 2, 46. And then we will identify whether this is relative mean or relative max. Okay, so how do you do that? You get the second derivative. Okay, plus 4. Get the second derivative. Y double prime equals, what is y double prime? This is your y prime. Then differentiate to get y double prime.
Answer 20x cubed po minus 30x.
20 x cubed minus 30x. And then the next step is to identify whether that is relative mean or relative max. Okay? So you replace y double prime by 2 and negative 2. Ito. Critical values natin is 2 and negative 2. Ito. And then you just replace x on the second derivative by 2 and negative 2. Right? So y double prime at 2 and y double prime at negative 2. Then you calculate this. Substitute it here. 20 times 2 cubed minus 30 times 2. What do you think is this? Greater than 0 or large or smaller than 0?
Sure, greater than 0 po.
Okay, greater than 0. So therefore, this is 2. 2, ano nga kapartner ng 2?
50 po.
2, negative 50 is relative. 2, negative 50 is relative what? This is greater than 0. Relative maximum or minimum?
Minimum po.
Relative minimum. Okay, and then you do it at y equals negative 2. So 20 times negative 2 cubed minus 30 times negative 2. What is this? Less than 0 or greater than 0?
Less than 0 po.
Less
Less
than
than 0.
Relative maximum.
Therefore, negative 2, what's that 46 again? Oh yeah. Is relative maximum. Alright? And then point of inflection. So you let y double prime equals 0 and then solve for x. I have y double prime 0 equals 20x cubed minus 30x. What is x? All right, so this is your y double prime. And let that double prime equal to 0. And then you solve for x. 0 equals 20 at saka 10. I think it's 10. Na? 10 x times 2x squared minus 3. Therefore, 0 is 10x. Then 10x equal to 0. So x equals 0. Alright? Hindi pala 0 nga pala. 0, 0. Sorry. May bad, may bad. So therefore, x is equal to 0. Next, when x is, papactor lang natin to. You have 2x squared minus 3 equals 0. What is x? Come on.
Square root po ng 3 over 2.
Alright, that's square root of 3 over 2. I am just relying on your... Okay? Then, hindi ba square root of 3 kasama tong 2? Alright? Tama yung sulat ka? Square root of 1 over square root of 3 over 2. But this is the point of inflection. And then isa-substitute ko ngayon doon sa y. So y equals, when x is 0, 0, 0, negative 20. And then what is y when x is square root of 3 over 2? Can you check that on the second derivative? Then what is x? What is y when x is square root of 3 over 2? What is y? What is y when x is square root of 3 over 2? You can use your calculator.
Sir, pwede po bang decimal ang sagot or hindi po?
Radicals, okay lang. Point of inflection lang naman yan.
Ang sagot po ay negative 6.74 po.
Negative 6.74. Sige, let me... Negative 6.74. So you have negative 20. Negative 6.74. And then we can now sketch the curve. Important points are the critical point, which is 2, negative 50, and negative 246. Ang layo nun. 2, negative 40, and 246. Imagine na lang natin dito, somewhere here. 1, 2, buwan na andito. Then ito yung isa. 2, negative, what is 2? 2, negative 40, negative 246. Negative 246. So ito yung 50. So ilagay ko lang siya dito. Okay? And then, what is this 1? Negative 140. 140 is, negative 140 is relative, mean or max? Ay, bakit ako nasa ilalim? Sorry, mali. Let, 2, negative 50, yung paling nasa ilalim. 2, negative 50 sa, say example, na andito lang siya. And the other one is, nasaan yung isa pang point? Negative 246. Negative 246. Let's say it's here. Ito ay 2. Ay, ano bang problema ko? Hindi nga pala to. 2, negative 50. And then the point of inflection is around negative 20, negative 6.74. So negative 20. So naandito pa yun. Ba't ang layo? Pa-check nga ako ulit ng mga values before I continue. 2, negative 50, and negative 246. Negative 246 to negative 50. Okay. Sabi, this is negative 24, negative 246. Negative 246 is relative max, so you cannot go down. But you cannot go up pala, sorry. So, ganyan yung behavior niyan. Then, ito ay relative mean. So, nakaganito na lang siya. Okay, then pag dudugtungin na lang natin yan, dadaanan niya yung point of inflection. And you're done. Okay. Relative mean, relative max. Okay? Question, clarification? Hey. Go.
Sir, question na po, para saan po ulit yung extraneous po, yung x equals uh, positive, negative.
No, hindi mo na pwede siyang i-plot kasi hindi mo mapaplot dyan ang imaginary number. X is the square root of -1. Hindi mo mapaplot dito yung imaginary number. So that's why you're not going to consider x equals square root of -1. That's an extraneous solution.
Pero yun po ay wala na po siya.
Lalabas yan. No, lalabas yan sa computation mo. Pero hindi mo siya gagamitin. You're not going to use it since it's an extraneous solution.
Okay po, sir. Thank you po.
So, extraneous solution is a solution that will come up, okay? An answer that will come up, pero based on the given, it cannot be utilized to replace a given variable. All right? Oh, you try this one. Whether there's relative minimum or relative maximum. Y equals x plus x raised to -1. Oops. Y equals x plus x raised to -1. Following that step. Okay? You do this first in your seat. I'll see you tomorrow at 7 a.m. Yeah, 7 a.m. Please. Meron lang akong speaking engagement ng 8. So what are you going to do first? You differentiate. You do it on your set. Differentiate y. I have what? Yes.
Sir, po? 1 plus -1 over x squared po.
One more. 1 plus -1 over.
X squared po.
All right. Then let this be 0. Okay. And then you get the LCD on the right. X squared. X squared divided by 1 times 1 minus 1. Then you cross multiply. So what is x? Positive 1 and x is -1. The next, find the critical point by substituting x to the original given. Y equals x plus x raised to -1. Y equals, what is this? 1 plus 1 raised to -1.
Sir, 2 po.
2. All right. So you have a point. 1, 2. Next, when x is -1, y is -1 plus -1 raised to -1. So what is y?
0 po, sir.
Ha?
Wait lang po. -2 po, sir.
-2 pa rin?
Sir, -1 po yung sa...
Alin?
Sir, yung dun po, y equals -1.
Ito?
Di po, sa right side.
Ito, sorry.
Di
So y
magiging
equals 1 plus -1 raised to -1.
0 po, sir. 0 po.
0. All right. So you have 0 here. Then you have a point, -1, 0. Hindi, tama nga na x yun eh. So -1. Alright? Bigay y equals x plus x raised to -1. Ulit. First step, you differentiate. Second step, let the derivative equal to 0. You solve for x. Kapag nakuha na yung mga x na yan, isa-substitute siya sa original. Okay? So when x is 1, you have y equals x plus x raised to negative 1. That's why you have y equals 1 plus 1 raised to negative 1. Then when x is negative 1, you have y equals negative 1 plus negative 1 raised to negative 1. Ipinapalit lang dito sa x na to. Nagkakaintindihan? You're getting my point?
Yes,
Please?
po.
How about the others?
Yes, sir.
Alright, then what is y?
Negative 2 po.
Okay, negative 2. So you have negative 1, negative 2. And then, nakuha nyo na yung critical point, you'll get the second derivative, y double prime. This is y prime. Then you get the second derivative.
Sir, 2 over x cube po.
2 over x cubed. And then we can now test which of these 2 points is relative mean or max. We have y double prime at 1, 2 over 1 cube. What is this? Greater than, less than? Greater than 0. Y double prime at negative 1. 2 over negative 1 cube. So this is less than 0. 2 over negative 1. This is negative 2. Alright? And then, what is 1, 2? Relative mean or relative max? Greater than. Relative.
Relative mean po.
Then what is this? Negative 1, negative 2. Relative max. Okay? And then you get the point of inflection. How do you get the point of inflection? Y double prime equals 0. And then you solve for x. 0 is 2 over x cubed. Then you cross multiply. So, ibig sabihin, there would be no point of inflection. Okay? So, you have 0, okay, equals 2. Then, iti-trace na natin. 1, 2, and negative 1, negative 2. Except 0 pala. One more. Y equals x plus 1 over x. So, x cannot be 0. One, 2, and negative 1, negative 2. Negative 1, negative 2. Alright? And then, we can now trace it. There is an asymptote because of y equals x raised to negative 1. X cannot become 0. Meaning, how do you trace it? This is an asymptote. Relative mean. So, hindi ka pwedeng bumaba. Umakyat ka na doon. Okay? This is your point. This is relative max. So, hindi ka pwedeng bumaba, hindi ka pwedeng lumagpas dito. Okay? And then, pag ganito ka na ngayon. Right? So, this is a relative maximum. And that's the graph of that function. Walang point of inflection kasi hindi siya continuous at x equals 0. Okay? Nagkakaintindihan? Question? Clarification? Any question, clarification? Eh? Oh, let's put it into problem. Determine, or you do this on your set. Number 3. You have y equals, uh, we say it's x squared minus 4x minus 1. X squared minus 4x minus 1. Find the minimum, relative maximum, and point of inflection, whichever is applicable. Okay, you do this on your set. You just identify, baka dyan ay meron lang isang minimum, isang maximum. You take this very seriously, ay yung mga susunod na lessons, you know that it's getting tougher and tougher. You know, I think this can make or break your grades in differential calculus. Remember, you did not perform pretty well on the midterm examination, so you have to make it up this time on the final examination. Final examination more on problem solving. You there? Can I? Okay. What does it have? Critical relative mean or relative max?
Relative minimum po.
Relative
And what
minimum.
is the relative minimum?
2, -5 po.
Okay, that's 2, -5. Next. Let's put it into problem solving. Yes.
Sir, 2, -5 po.
Okay. Number 4. Okay, determine uh, A and B so that the curve, mamaya kayo susunod yung curve, y equals x cubed, y equals x cubed plus, plus ax squared plus ax squared plus b will have critical point at 2,5. Okay, you mark the keywords. You have critical point at 2,5. So that indicates what? You have y equals x cubed ax squared plus b. We'll have a critical point at 2,5. So that indicates your keyword is critical point. So anong sinasabi ng critical point na yan? When do you get the how do you get the critical point? How do you get the critical value? Delayed ba ako? O delayed kayo? Where are you? You're in school?
Hindi na po sir. Nasa bahay na.
Ba't hindi ko na kayo makausap? Kanina, we understand na hindi kayo nagsasalita kay Sir Abro kasi you told Sir Abro that you're in school. How about now? Shall I go on with our discussion or I will just leave it to you?
For discussion.
Oh, why are you not answering?
So, ano po ulit tanong?
How do you get the critical point based on our discussion earlier? Where do you find the critical point?
Let f of prime of x equals 0 po.
Okay, so you let the derivative y prime equals 0. So ibig sabihin, when you let the derivative y prime equals 0, what do you get? What number do you get? What's the answer when you let y prime equals 0 based on the problem?
The value of x is 2 po.
The value of x is 2. So ibig sabihin, yan no, 'di ba? The y prime, yan, baliktad yan eh kasi binigay niyo yung x. When you let the derivative y prime equals 0, so you get excess and these are called critical values. And then you look for y, then they are called critical point. Okay? Ibig sabihin, the critical point is obtained when you get the derivative y prime, okay? And then you let it 0 and then you solve for x. So dito naman binigay na yung x and then the only thing you have to do is to let y prime equal 0. Yes. So you have when x is equal to 2, y is equal to 5 and y prime is equal to 0. Okay? And then first step, you have to differentiate y prime. What's y? You have to differentiate y. What is y prime? Magtawag na nga lang ako. Ang hindi sasagot, ang hindi magsasagot minus ng minus ha. You're pushing me to do this. Okay, Mr. Batista. I have my pen here. Ma-minus ko sa midterm exam nyo. Ay, hindi kayo nagsasalita eh. You're pushing your teacher to be rude. Imposible namang hindi nyo alam ang tinatanong ko eh. What is y prime? Mr. Bautista? Y equals x cubed plus ax squared plus b. What is y prime? Can you hear me, Mr. Bautista? Baka kaya hindi kayo nagsasalita dahil may access kayo sa Jamboard ko. This time, I don't know. I remove your access to my Jamboard. No one? Here with us? Can you hear me, Mr. Bautista? You can just say yes or no. Can you open all your cameras? You leave your camera open, please. Ano bang hirap niyong pakiusapan? Boys, girls? Anong problema natin? Alam niyo, hindi ito Batangas State University is not Catholic school, is not Christian school, but attitude matters. Hindi na nga, I mean, you know, you did not perform pretty well on the midterm examination, tapos hindi ko pa kayo makausap, paano ko kayo ipapasa? Anyone? Sige, ako na lang, bahala na kayo.
Sir, 3x squared.
Plus?
2ax. 2ax po.
Okay, and then you let this to be 0. So when you let this to be 0, your x is 2. It's a 0. When x is 2, y prime is 0. So you have 3 times 2 square plus 2a times x. And then you have 0 equals 4, 12 plus 4a. Then you mark this equation 1. Ay, hindi pala kasi you can now solve for a. If 0 equals 12 plus 4a, then you know that a is equal to negative 3. And then when x is 2, y is 5. So you have 5 equals x cubed. So that's 2 cubed plus a, 2 square plus b. Then 5 equals 8 plus a, where a is negative 3. And then 2 square, that's 4 plus b. And then you add them all. You have 5 equals 8 minus 12 plus b. You know that 8 minus 12 is negative 4. And then you transpose it on the other side, that will become 9. B equals 9. So the equation will be y equals x cubed. It's more. Y equals x cubed plus a, that's negative 3x squared plus 9. That example. Let's try this one. Determine a, b, and c so that the curve y equals ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx will have a slope of 4 at its point of inflection. You have a slope of 4, meaning a slope, that means y prime. And y prime is equal to 4 at its point of inflection, then this will serve as the point of tangency. Okay, so y prime at negative 1 equals 4. So you have when x equals -1, y equals -5, and y prime equals 4. And then you have y equals ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx. Okay? Then when x is -1, y is -5. Y equals a -1 cube plus b -1 square plus c times -1. You have -5, -1 cube, so that's -a plus b, then minus c. You mark this equation 1. Then you get the derivative of y prime. That's 3ax squared plus 2bx plus c. And then when x is -1, y prime is 4. You have 4, 3a, -1 square, yes, plus
Sir,
c.
medyo mabilis po.
Eh, kasi hindi ko kayo nakakausap eh. Give and take tayo. Alright? I will give you your request, but you give me my request. Anong gusto nating mangyari? You tell me if I will suspend this session, and then you just refer to my ano. Anong gusto niyo mangyari sa klase natin? Eh, tuwing online class, ganito tayo eh. Tapos, ilalagay niyo sa comment, mabilis ako magsalita. Eh, you're pushing me to do it eh.
Sige po, sir. Sorry po.
Sa ibang klase, hindi naman kayo ganyan. Right? Again, when solving problems involving this kind of maxima minima, you have to mark the keywords. One, the slope, and then you recall the discussion. A slope. When you read the slope, you let it to be y prime. Okay. So again, the slope tells you the derivative y prime. Right. So sabi sa problem, the derivative of y is equal to 4 at its point of inflection. It means that -1, -5 is a point of tangency. So that means this is 4, and you will get 4 when you replace x on the derivative of y by -1. Right? And then you have this. When x is -1, y is -5, and y prime is 4. And then you write the equation. Y equals ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx. And then you replace these values. Y is -5 equals a x plus b x squared plus c x. Then you simplify. -5, -a plus b minus c. And then you mark this equation 1. Then how do you get the values of a, b, and c? You need to have 3 equations and 3 unknowns. Right? Then another equation is you get that when you differentiate your y prime. That's 3ax squared plus 2bx plus c. That's the derivative of your y. Okay, and then y prime is 4 when x is -1. That's 3a -1 square plus 2b -1 plus c. Okay, and then you have 4. The -1 square is 1, 3a, then minus 2b plus c. You mark this equation 2. So you have 3 unknowns, a, b, c, a, b, c, but you only have 2 equations yet. Okay, then again, what does this point inflection tells you? How do you get the point of inflection?
Second derivative po.
Second derivative. So y double prime is equal to How do you get the point of inflection? The second derivative test, and you let the second derivative be equal to
0.
0.
0. When you let the y derivative, the second derivative of y to 0, you get the value of x, which is -1. Okay? So y double prime is equal to 0. Again, to complete, x equals -1 when x is -1, y is -5, y prime is 4, and y double prime is 0. So we need to have y double prime equals, you differentiate 6ax plus 2b. And then you say that the second derivative is 0 whenever x is -1. So you have 0, -6a, 2b. And then you divide this by 2 so that you'll get a little smaller coefficients. 0, -3a plus b. And then you mark this equation 3. Okay? And then by elimination, substitution, or simultaneous equation, or whatever technique that you use to solve systems of linear equation, we look for the values of a, b, and c. Okay? So using equation 1 and 2, I will eliminate c. Sir, why do you need to eliminate c? Basically because when I look at equation number 3, there's no c here. You see this? There's no c. So I must eliminate c using equation 1 and 2. -5 equals -a plus b minus c. And then equation 2, 4, 3a minus 2b plus c. And then you add to eliminate c. -5 plus 4, -1, -a plus 3a, 2a, b plus -2b, -b. And then this will become 0. You mark this equation 4. Okay? -1. So using equation 3 and 4, you have 0 equals -3a plus b. -1, 2a minus b. And you can add this to eliminate b. -1, then this is -a. If -1 is -a, therefore a equals 1. And then using any of this, you substitute a to get b. 0, -3a plus b. Yeah, b is +3. Okay? You have a1, b3, and then you can just use any of these two to solve for c. That's -5 equals, o kahit yung equation 2 na lang, 4 equals 3a minus 2b plus c. Then you replace a by 1, then b by 3. 4, 3a minus 2b plus c. 4, 6, 3 minus 6 plus c. You have c equals 3 minus 6, that's -3. Then tapon sa kabila, it will become 7. So therefore, the equation that we are looking for is y equals, what's that? Ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx. A x cubed plus b x squared plus c x. So this equation will have a slope of 4 at its point of inflection, -1, -5. Ano pa ako makaka-attend eh. So Sa dami ng... Face-to-face ko po yan? Online? Online po yun. Sabay-sabay na naman ang green, ano po yan. Diba may mga green metrics para maging best university in the world. Okay, same problem. Determine A and B so that the curve y equals ax cubed plus bx squared will have a point of inflection at 1, 3. Again, you have point of inflection. That's the second derivative. You do it first. You can follow this lead. Gawan nyo din ng ganito. X equals -1, y equals -5, and y prime is 4, and y double prime is 0. However, you only have point of inflection here, meaning you don't have y prime because the only keyword here is point of inflection. Kaya po ako naandun lagi. Okay? So I have point of inflection, that's the second derivative, that is 0 whenever x is 1. Okay, so what are your points? When x is 1, y is 3, and y double prime is 0. And then you use this to make an equation. So you have y 3, that's ax cubed plus bx squared. And then y prime 3ax squared plus 2bx. And then y double prime 6ax plus 2b. And then gawa kayo ng tatlong equation. Hindi pala, dalawang equation lang kasi hindi nyo nagagamitin tong y prime. You will only be using this at saka ito. Oh, go. What is it?
Sir, 3 over 2 and negative 3 over 2 po.
And then you tell me what to write.
Yung una pong equation ko po ay yung 3 equals to sa A plus B po.
A plus B. Then, equation
Kasi
2,
yung 0 equals
0,
6 2B.
6A plus 2B. Okay.
Tapos
And then you
tinimes
can,
ko po yung first equation ko po by 2 para po makancel ang
or you can use substitution. Sir, paano po yung substitution? You can solve A and B here. Okay? You can do this, the elimination just like what I did here. But you can do other method like simultaneous equation or substitution. So sa substitution from equation 1, you can see that A is equal to 3 minus B. And then itong A na to, ipalit mo siya doon. Okay? Or you can divide this by 2. 0 is 6A. Divide by 2. 3A plus B. Ibig sabihin, sa B na lang tayo. Mas madali sa B. So, B equals, okay? So, 3, then transpose A on the other side. And then substitute it here. 0, 3A plus B. Then 0, then 3A minus A is 2A plus 3. Then transpose it on the other side. We have A is negative 3 halves. And then B equals 3 minus negative 3 halves. Yeah. We have B equals 3 plus 3 halves. 2 times 3, 6 plus 3, 9. So therefore, the equation would be y equals ax cubed plus bx squared. A x cubed plus b x squared. And this will have a point of inflection at 1, 3. 6. Ay, no, not this. 5. Okay. Determine A, B, C, and D so that the curve y equals ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d will have horizontal tangents at the points 1, 2, and 2, 3. Okay, so the keyword is horizontal tangent. So when you see horizontal tangent, it's a horizontal line, the slope of which is
0 po.
equal to 0. So anong ibig sabihin ng slope? That is your y prime. And magiging 0 daw ang slope nito kung ang x ay 1 or kung ang x ay 2. Okay? Kasi ibig sabihin, this is horizontal tangents, and where do you see the horizontal tangent? At the relative maximum and at the relative minimum. So it means that between this point, 1, 2, and 2, 3, one of which is relative minimum and the other one is relative maximum. So you have this values. When x is 1, y is equal to 2, and y prime is 0. Okay? And the other pair, and the other one is when x is 2, y is equal to 3, and y prime is equal to 0. And then you use the equation y equals ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d. Since you have 4 unknowns here, a, b, c, d, so you need to have 4 equations. Okay? So equation 1 will be coming from 1 and 2. When x is 1, y is 2. So you have y equals, oh, no. 2 equals a x cubed plus b x squared plus c x plus d. You have 2a plus b plus c plus d. Equation 1. The next, when x is 1, y prime is 2. 0, sorry. Y prime is 0. So you need to look for y prime. You have 3ax squared plus 2bx plus c. And then you look for y prime 0, 3ax plus square plus 2bx plus c. Have 0, 3a plus 2b plus c. Mark this equation 2. Then equation 3 will be coming from when x is 2, y is 3. When x is 2, y is 3. Ito siya. Then you have y. Y equals ax cubed plus b x squared plus c x plus d. You have 3. 2 cube is 8. 2 square is 4. Then plus 2c plus d. Equation 4. Equation 3. The next, you have equation 4 will be coming from x is 2, y prime is 0. When x is 2, y prime is 0. So you have y prime 0 equals 3a 2 square plus 2b times x plus c. Then that will become 0 equals 2 square 4 times 3, 12a. Then plus 4b plus c. So this will be equation 4. Okay? And then you try to observe the values. Equation 1, a, b, c, d. Equation 2, a, b, c. Equation 3, a, b, c, d. Equation 4, a, b, c. So you can only pair up 1 and 3, and then you eliminate d. So you will only have a, b, c. Okay? Equation 1. What's equation 1? 2a. Sorry. Equation 1 is 2 equals a plus b plus c plus d. And then, i-pair natin siya sa equation 3 na may d din. Alright? And then, you can subtract kasi the sign of D is similar. So 2 minus 3, negative 1, A minus 8A, then B minus 4B, then C minus 2C, and then this will become 0. This will be marked equation 5. Okay? And then equation 5, and then I can use equation 2 kasi yung 2 may C din. Out na yata si Angel. Ay siya. Baka nasa ano lang, Dean's office. Okay. So this is equation. I-prepare ko siya doon. And then, paghiwalayin ko muna. We have negative 1 equals negative 7a minus 3b minus c. Then, I will add to eliminate c. 0 plus negative 1, 3a plus negative 7a, 2b plus negative 3b, and then this will become 0. Equation 6. And then I will be using equation 5 again, minus 3b minus c, and equation 4, kasi may c din yung 4. And then I will eliminate c, so that I will have equation 7 in a and b. You have negative 1 plus 0, negative 7 plus 12a, then negative positive b. Okay, then equation 7. Using equation 6 and 7, negative 1, negative 4a minus b, negative 1, 5a plus b, then I can add. You'll have 0, negative 2, then this will be a, so then 0. So a is negative 2. Then if a is negative 2, you can choose from any of this to solve for b. Negative 1 equals negative 4a minus 2 minus b. Negative 1 equals negative 4a minus b. So negative 1, that's 8 minus b. So b equals 9. Right? Then a is negative 2, b is 9. Then you can just choose from any of this then to solve for c. I'll be using 0 na lang, yung may 0. 0 equals 12a plus 4b plus c. 0, 12, negative 2, I think. Oh yeah, and b is 9. Plus 4 times 9 plus c. 0, negative 24 plus 36. Yeah, plus c. That would be 12. 0, 12 plus c. So c is negative 12. Then you can choose from any of this. Okay? Then to solve for d. Yung maliit na lang. 2. 2, a, b, c, plus d. A is 2 pala, sorry. Negative 2. You have negative 2, negative 12. That's negative 14 plus 9, negative 5. Throw it on the other side, that will be positive 5 plus 2, 7. So D is 7. So the equation that we are looking for is y equals a x cubed plus b x squared plus c x plus d. And this curve will have a point of, will have a critical point at 1, 2, and 2, 3. Okay? Alamin natin, which of this point, 1, 2, and 2, 3, is the relative mean or relative max. So how do you do it? Then you get this equation. You ask your question if you have question. And let's see which one of that point, 1, 2, or 2, 3, is the relative mean or relative max. You have y prime equals negative 6x squared plus 18x minus 12. At ang laki. And then y prime, let that become 0. Hindi, y double prime na lang. Kasi alam na natin yung values niya. 1, 2, and 2, 3. Tatlo mo kayong aking. Okay, so y double prime is negative 12x plus 18. And then y double prime at 1 is negative 12 times 1 plus 18. And I guess this is greater than 0. Therefore, the 0.12 is relative minimum. Okay? Then, y double prime at 2 equals negative 12 times 2 plus 18. This is negative 24 plus 18, so therefore this will be less than 0. So therefore, the 0.23 is relative maximum. Okay? Trace natin. And then, we look for the critical point. Y double prime equals 0. The point of inflection pala, sorry. So 0 equals negative 12x plus 18. Negative 12x plus 18. Okay? Or 12x equals 18. X is 18 over 12. You divide this by 6. X equals 3 halves. Okay? Trace natin. 1, 2, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oops. 1, 2, and 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2 is relative mean. And 2, 3 is relative max. Okay? Then pagdugtungin lang natin. That's the curve. So, hindi ko na pinapalampas sa x and the y axis because hindi naman natin concern yung intercepts. So, ito yung 3 halves. So, ito yung point of inflection. Alright? This is 3 halves. This is 1 and this one is 2. Okay? So, that's the graph of this function. Carla, what's this? Performance of Spanish dance when? On October 27? The whole day? You'll dance? Oh, okay. You're excited? One more. Walang problem dito. Ito. Ito na ba yan? Find A and B so that the curve y equals ax plus bx raised to negative 1 will have a critical point. So critical siya, meaning that's you get the critical point whenever the derivative is 0. Y prime equals 0 and one of the critical points is 2, 4. So y prime at 2. Okay. Then you have y prime equals so what values do you have? X equals 2 whenever y is 4 and y prime is 0. You have y 4 a x plus b x raised to negative 1. So you have 4 equals 2a plus b over 2. And then you differentiate y prime, derivative of ax, derivative of bx raised to negative 1. Y prime is a minus bx raised to negative 2. Y prime is a minus bx raised to negative 2. A, alright. And then y prime is 0 when x is 2. Y prime is 0 when x is 2. Okay, so 0, a minus b over 4. equation 2. Equation 1, eri yun. 4, 2a plus b over 2. So 4 equals 2a, what's that? 2a plus b over 2. 2a plus b over 2. 2a plus b over 2. Equation 1. So from equation 2, you can deduce that a is equal to b over 4. By substitution, let 0, itatapon ko lang ito sa kabila. So a equals b over 4. And then by substitution, 4 equals 2 times a, then plus b over 2. Then 4, 2 times b over 4 is b over 2 plus b over 2. Then 4 equals 1/2 times b plus b. So this would be b. So therefore, b is equal to 4. Diba? Or kaya naman ay, di ba 1/2 are? Okay? 1/2 b plus 1/2 d is b. So b equals 4. If b is 4, what is a? A equals b over 4. You have 4 over 4 and a is equal to 1. So therefore, the equation would be y equals ax plus b x raised to negative 1. What's that negative 1? Ah, yeah. Or y equals x plus 4 over x. Right? Isa akong magandang example dito. Sa 4 ba yan? O sa 3? Sa 3 yan. Okay. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Okay na to. We're done with tangent line and normal line, curve tracing, and then velocity acceleration, I think. Ay, shit. Wala pang velocity acceleration pala. Sorry. Okay lang kahit huli ko na yan. Ayan. Ba't naiwan yun? Okay lang. Hindi naman yan in order. Then, isunod ko lang tong maxima minima since na-discuss na natin yung maximum and minimum points. Magkadugtong kasi to. But yung velocity, we can do it some other time. Okay? Alright. Now, the concept of solving minimization and maximization problems also can be associated to finding the relative minimum and relative maximum points. Okay? So, ganun din. The idea is that when you get the derivative of the function y equals f of x, and then you can say that y prime equals f prime of x, you get the relative minimum and relative maximum points. So, you get the minimum and the maximum. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, when you wish to solve for, when you wish to minimize or maximize a certain quantity, then you can solve this. You can use this, you can use this theorem that the first derivative of the function y can give you the relative minimum and relative maximum. That is, when your y prime equals 0, and then you only need to look for to solve for the given variable. Okay. So, and here's the step. Allow me to type it. Ano nga to? 1. Express in solving in solving problems involving maxima and minima, minimization or maximization yun. Maxima and minima. Is maximization and minimization. Ng ano pa? Wala pa pong ano? Daya naman. Okay. 1. Express the quantity to be minimized or maximize in terms of a single variable. Then after transforming that into single variable, differentiate the working equation. That's the function. Right? And set the derivative equal to 0. Then 3, solve for the given, solve for the variable obtained in steps 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Right? So, then ito side ano na lang, to verify whether the variable is maximize or minimize, then perform second derivative test. So this is just the simple step to follow in solving problems on minimization and maximization. Okay. Problem number 1. Find two numbers. Whose sum is 10. And whose sum of squares is minimum. So first thing you need to do, you find or you look for two numbers whose sum is 10. So there are a lot, 1 and 9. 1 and 9, 2 and 8. Okay, I will not write it. 1 and 9, 2 and 8, 3 and 7, 4 and 6, 5 and 5, then 7 and 2, 8 and 2, 8 and 2, sorry, 7 and 3, 8 and 2, 9 and 1, then a lot more. Negative 1, pwede ding negative 1, ano pa? Negative 1, 11, pwede ding fraction, 1 half, at saka 9 and 1 half. So there are a lot, there are infinitely many. Madali yan sa algebra kung ang problem is find the numbers whose sum is 10 and whose sum of square is 25. So algebra can do that. But when you have this, you're looking for the minimum. So I think algebra cannot help us. Okay, so we will take advantage of the concept of derivative to solve this problem. Okay, so we let x be the first number, and then y be the second number, such that when you add these two, x plus y equals 10. Okay, so this is the relationship of x and y. Now we look for the working equation. The working equation is obtained by identifying this is minimum. Minimize, what is going to be minimized? Minimize whose sum of squares is minimum. Sum of squares. So say S. Minimize S. What is S? S is just a name. You can write any letter. S, M, N, O, P. Okay, but I just use S to represent sum of squares. S equals the square of x plus the square of y. And you will observe that S is written in terms of two variables, x and y. Okay, let me just finish this. So first step is to rewrite this in terms of single variable. So you have to decide whether you want to do it at s of x or s of y. Ibig sabihin, you can give me two solutions here, one of which is in terms of x and the other one is in terms of y. So how do you do it? So dito nyo kuhanin. If you want to stay s of x, okay, and then i-retain nyo to, and then you have to look for y. Okay, what is y? From here, you can see that y is 10 minus x. So 10 minus x squared. And you can now see that s is written in terms of single variable. Okay, so then you can now differentiate s prime of x, 2x. Then bring this down, copy, then subtract 1, differentiate 10 minus x. Okay, and then let this be 0. Then 2x, 2 times 10 times negative 1, negative 20, or 53. Then 2 times negative x times negative 1 plus 2x. So you have 0 is 4x minus 20. And you can see that x is 5. Step number 3. So x is equal to 5. If x is 5, then y is 10 minus 5. So y equals 5. Okay? So meaning, the numbers that we are looking for is 5, 5. And these numbers, the sum is 10, 5 plus 5, and 5 square plus 5 square, that's 50. That is the minimum sum. Okay? And then I'll be giving you more problems on maximization and minimization. I have a lot of materials in our classroom. Lahat ng application meron na doon, may instructional videos, then you can consult the video. Okay? So it's already 4:54, and then you can leave the room if you do not have any more questions. If you still have questions, I can entertain you until 5. Okay? Questions, clarification?
Sir, may ask lang po ako about po dun sa earlier process. Yung when we ano po, find the first and second derivative po, yung in terms of A and B lang, pwede pong i-substitute na lang po yung A and B after we find them.
Saan yan? Dito?
Opo, diyan po.
Dito? Hindi,
Para
ito
hindi na po
naman.
yung parang para hindi po mag-differentiate ulit. Yung isa-substitute na lang po yung A and B.
Saan?
Dun sa earlier
It
problems
depends
pa.
no. It depends dito. Dito.
Um,
Or saan ba dito?
parang hindi ko lang po hindi ko lang po na-note kung saang problem po siya. Pero meron po tayong ano eh. Yan po ata.
But it depends on the problem. No, it depends on the problem kung anong hinihingi. Kaya nga ang sabi ko sa inyo, you mark the keywords kasi yung keywords diyan, lagi niyo siyang i-associate sa derivative. Is it first derivative or second derivative? Ang sinasabi mo na kahit hindi na mag-second derivative, you think?
Like kung ano po, yung y prime equals
Hindi, ito
3x.
naman kasi, itong problem na to can only be solved by this method. No, yung additional problem natin is we just verify whether this curve is really which of this point 1, 2 and 2, 3 is really the relative minimum and relative maximum. Hindi to kasama sa problem na yan. Hanggang dito lang yung inyong final answer. Is that what you're asking?
Opo, sir.
Kaya ito ginawa lang natin just to verify alin sa dalawa ang relative minimum at relative maximum. Is it 1, 2, or 2, 3? And then tinrace natin. Okay, but definitely itong part na to is not part of the problem. We just identify which, kasi sabi dito 1, 2, and 2, 3 is critical point, are critical points. So kasi there's horizontal tangents on it. So if there's horizontal tangent that you can draw out of that point, then that's a relative minimum or relative maximum. Okay?
Apa.
You go back with my videos. I have a lot of videos on our classroom. No? Then you can also watch the video on velocity and acceleration. Right? So questions, clarification, no more? Okay, so have a good day and yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you po.
Thank you, sir.
Sige po.